Oh, that were an orb, that. It's like water dripping as well from somewhere. So them two sounds had SLS captures at the same time. So what I'm trying to say is we had simultaneous captures with sounds, which is really good actually. Welcome to another video. So this video is my first ever time in Stoke actually. So we're going to a place called Beech Caves. So this cave is actually, well, it more or less is an urban legend because it's got quite a history and a tale to tell. And I'm sure you can see what it says in front of you there, and it talks about illegal raves, overdose rumours and safety concerns. So that sounds brilliant for me because this is the type of videos I like to make, to be honest. So I have to travel for this one, so I'm actually playing away in Stoke really for the first time. So we'll see how this goes actually. I mean, making this video was actually a bit of a nightmare, and I'm going to explain as the video progresses why this was. It's a bit funny as well, to be honest. So this location isn't that far from the Stoke City football ground. So I just thought I'd show you some pictures, what you're going to see in this video before this video actually starts, so you can actually see some of the photos of the location before I get there. Now I can tell you something, I'll never forget making this video for a long time because obviously I'd say the energy and some of the things that happened making this video. So we'll start off our journey, which is at Beech train station, which is the closest train station to me. And obviously I'll have to get 3 trains, I think, and well, I'm supposed to get 3 trains and 2 buses. That is the plan. Whether I stick to that plan or not is, well, we're going to find out and see what happens. Well, I'm going to show you what happens when you don't stick to the plan, really. So in the next segment here, I'm just going to start the video from inside Stoke. So, as I mentioned before, the plan was to get the bus after I get off the train. Now, I think I land in Stoke for 12:50 and there's a bus at 13:02. Or that's what Google's telling me. So I should be getting the 100 bus, which is at 13:02, which is not far actually from the station. You just come out and you just wait for the bus. I've just more or less got off the train to get to this location. The bad news is there was supposed to be a bus coming and there's not, so I have to walk it, which I'm not too fussed about really. But anyway, it's Beech Caves we're going to, so this location is quite interesting actually, because the caves are a little bit mysterious actually, because in World War I and II the army sealed it off. You couldn't go there, you weren't allowed there. We're assuming it were ammunition that they was hiding in the caves, but no one really knows. The caves really go back to the Triassic period, so it's something like that anyway. They're old as fucking of words. So I'm going to get Dola to tell you about it. Tell about the caves really, but what's interesting here is after the army finished what they were doing, these caves became really popular for illegal raves really, and obviously there was quite a few overdoses as well at these caves, but I can't imagine them being any different to Crank Caverns really, but we'll have a look and see how far we get, what recordings we get, and see how interesting it is really. So right, so let me try and explain. I'm at Stoke-on-Trent train station. I've missed a bus, so I have to wait half an hour for the next one. I think in my head that I can walk this distance in half an hour. That's what I thought. I walk all the time. I'll be able to do this in no time. Google's telling me it's going to take me 2 hours to walk this. Right past Bet365 Stadium, which is Stoke-on-Trent, all the way down here, all the way further down. You walk down the canal and then you come off, and then you go back up a road here past a little roundabout, come up to Winghouse Lane, take a left, and then go all the way down here, which I believe would take me 30 minutes. And this is where it all went wrong, because this does not take 30 minutes to walk, let me rest assured. Anyway, let me tell you about the location first.
First off, the rock itself here dates all the way back to the Triassic period, roughly 252 to 201 million years ago, long before the dinosaurs really took hold. It's that distinctive red Cooper sandstone, laid down way back when the world looked completely different. Fast forward to the 20th century, and both World War I and World War II saw this place sealed off and placed out of bounds by the military. It's widely believed they used it to store ammunition, most likely linked to the big ordnance works nearby at Swinnerton. But the truth is, there are no surviving official records to confirm exactly what went on here, so it still keeps some secrets. Then, from the late 1980s right through the 90s, it became legendary as one of the go-to spots for illegal underground raves, drawing hundreds of people deep into these tunnels away from the authorities. Sadly, that era also brought tragedy. There were confirmed reports of overdoses and medical emergencies right here. And as you can imagine, being so remote, down narrow lanes and inside a cave system, it was an absolute nightmare for emergency services to reach people quickly if something went wrong, adding even more weight and sadness to what happened here. The people and owners linked to Beech Caves, 1633. Roger Lowe, the very first named quarryman on record, paid 22 pence per score to cut stone here for Trentham Hall under the land ownership of the Leveson Gower family. 1850s, Thomas Fitzherbert, listed as the main landowner on the tithe maps for this area. The caves themselves weren't actually named on official maps until 1924, so ownership after that gets patchy. WW1 and WW2, no private owners are named during this time. The military simply took control, sealed it off, and it's believed they requisitioned it from the estate, but no surviving paperwork says exactly who owned it when they did. Later years. More recently, it passed through various local landowners, including the Green family, who demolished the old quarry cottages built into the rock face and reused the stone. No big company name.
It is quite a sunny day. Just wanted to point out that blue fence actually. If you go in Manchester, you don't see any of that. So I made a bit of a miscalculation actually, because when I come off the train station I should have got some money out really and got a taxi to this location. I didn't want to wait for the train because it was half an hour, so I set off and then went the wrong direction, and then the bus was gone then. I'm sure I said the bus then and not the train. I didn't want to wait for the bus, it was half an hour, I didn't want to wait. I thought I can get here to this location in half an hour, and then on Google Maps it's telling me it's 2 hours 16 minutes walking. So I looked at Google Maps, I was like, oh look at this little wheel here. So I was looking at Google Maps thinking, there's no way I can cover that ground pretty quickly. What we're going to see now. But like I said, I think I've definitely made a miscalculation, because it's going to take longer than I thought. I should just wait for the bus really. but it said on Google 13:02, but on the board it said half an hour. Like I say, I'm not waiting half an hour. Anyway, I don't know how long it's going to take really, but it doesn't seem that long or that far away. But I'll tell you, Stoke City Football Club's closer than where I'm going, which is probably just over in that direction. So as I mentioned, that's probably the way to Britannia Stadium, which is a Stoke Football Club. You can go that way, but that's not the way that I've got to go. Look at how low that bridge is as well. The bridge is quite low. There's a story in Ebden Bridge, and it's where there was a guy on a canal boat, and he wasn't paying attention to what was going on, and came to a low bridge like that one, and took his head clean off. And the horses were pulling the carriage still, so the horses continued to pull the carriage until the next station, and he arrived at the station with no head, which is, well, it's really unfortunate really, but that's what I'm saying about the low bridges on canals. This canal system just goes on and on. I must have been walking for about 15-20 minutes now, and it just feels like I've been walking forever. But there's just pure people fishing as you walk down here, and these houses are really nice on the canal side. Looks really nice here. Right, Google's saying I'm an hour away now, so I feel like I've been walking for hours since I got off the train, and I really regret not getting the bus now, or getting a taxi for that matter. So anyway, we'll march on, because like this feels like forever this. Right, after 2 hours walking more or less, I've got half an hour left on this road, and I should have got the bus really, but I'll show you now. So this is near Titinsure Golf Club, I think, or bowling club, or whatever it is. So I've just got to stay on this road now for another half an hour, and then we'll be there. I just walked down that road and missed the turn off, which is this one, which is Beechdale Lane. So I was walking for about a mile back there and totally missed the lane. So this is a lane we've got to walk down probably for about another 15 minutes. It's been a brutal walk, but these sometimes, oh, there's a white butterfly there, look. So it's about 500 metres now, and you can see it's like a little, just like a little isolated lane really, which is proper out the way. So we're 5 minutes away now. And you can just hear the M6 in the distance. You can probably see the traffic. And I've come a long way actually. I don't know how far back I've come, but I've easily walked 7 miles from the train station. If you were driving here, you could just park here in this lay-by, like many people have done by the looks of it. And this is it.
Of course.
Not that big actually. I keep thinking I see shadow people to the left hand side, but it's probably just me. Not that big actually, not as big as I thought it'd be.
Bench. Online.
What am I banging this? There were some dark voices before actually. So just imagine like people have come here to have illegal raves. That was close, that one. So in a minute, GhostTube's going to say, where is it? And they're talking about the sound, and you'll know in a minute when it says, where is it? I don't know. So I've just responded saying, I don't know. So I know I'm trying to get distracted out of this area, so I decided to do the opposite, which was to sit down.
Charlie.
He's on his frequency.
I already have. I already have. I already have. Real.
Overdose. Powering on.
For the sake of my friends.
For the sake of my
Starting
friends.
ITC3.
Deep setting. Deep setting.
That's 5 actually.
Switching.
Problem.
Bob on. Brick.
Brick.
I did see a few bricks back there actually.
Bringing him in does go there. Again.
I think it's asking me to go back to the brick.
Expected him.
West.
Sorry.
There's more.
How's this really tough?
Calm down.
Some shit fucking right in front of me by the looks of that.
They are.
They are. So in this next clip, look out for this orb that shoots past the camera, more or less, with quite a weird trajectory, and then there's disembodied voices that you can quite clearly hear on the microphone. I've turned it up a little bit so you can hear the voices, but it's just straight after this here. Oh, that were an orb, that. It's like water dripping as well from somewhere. So in a minute you're gonna hear two bangs, but you're gonna get little two green captures. They're only small, but they're near the roof, and then we get the bangs. So the captures and the bangs were at the same time then. Hopefully you just seen that there, but I just want to point that out. Fuck's sake. There it is. Accident. What, like an overdose? So, like I mentioned before, there were people that had overdoses here. Let's have a look around at, in fact. So there's a couple of different entrances. There was actually some good voices before, some dark voices. For filming normal camera, actually, I don't really need any other equipment. And I think 4K will do it justice, especially out here. I mean, if you look at it, I'll just turn. If you look at what I was saying there, maybe it was ammunition that they kept here. It's not that big, actually. I mean, if you think about a rave here, you probably get less than 1,000 people. What is that, like a face in the rock? Line.
Line. You love her.
You love her? You talking about the Rave or something? Did she die? So it's not that big actually. Like I say, Crank Caverns is bigger than this, but a lot of that's caved in. What did you used to have in these caves? Oh, someone's carved a name pretty cool in there. People have been coming here for years by the looks of it. I wonder if it opens up. I don't think it does actually. I don't think it opens up inside. Right, I better finish the video because I've got a long walk actually. What was that? Danger, keep out. I mean, it says enter at own risk. There really is no risk apart from, you know, you fall and hit your ankle or something. I don't know why the LED's bright. Something's. I can see something here with the LED torch. I don't know what it is like. It's just an IBIS thing, isn't it? But this is it really. Not much to it, I don't thought. Can you see me? Can you see where I am?
No.
Oh. Where you communicating from? I'm sure when darkness falls it'll be a different story here because, you know, there's obviously no light and it'd be like Crank Caverns, the energy just shifts when darkness comes in. I don't know what all them things are in the walls actually, all the holes, I'm not sure. I don't know what these are.
No. No.
Bit of music then from obviously the Raves. I don't know where they got the power from. They're pretty smooth them holes as well. Something rather close actually, watching me. Are you watching me? No, I'm sure that's not responding to my question, like in my last video. Now it's funny how that was like carved out on like a 90-degree angle. You can see the entrance here, and I wonder like what they had in this area in the World War, because it's way out the way. Right, that's more or less the end of the video, really. I mean, I've got more footage, but I'm going to decide to end it there. But before I go, I just want to try to recreate with using AI what the the illegal scene used to be like, and what the sounds could have been, them banging sounds. So these are just like normal pictures that I took, and I'll just show you the AI one. So this could be like something what was creating the sounds, disembodied workers really, quarrymen really that used to work here that may have died, and then you've got the old rave scene where lots of people would have come here to obviously have a good time or whatever. Anyway, that's the end of the video, so hopefully see you soon.